space for idea sharing, a space to question your last move, and to help you rethink the next one, and to challenge your existing beliefs. A space that engages entrepreneurs and top thinkers. This is an Acute Media original. I'm Miranda Dixon, and this is YellowTape.
Podcasts are an amazing way to get your message out. You get an engaged audience who consume your content anywhere, anytime, and we'd like to help you get started with launching your podcast. Acute helps you conceptualize, produce, package, and distribute. Email us at hello@acute.co.ke. That's acute with a Q. Time to express yourself.
In this episode, I feature a young mind dedicated in bettering the lives of the less privileged through the provision of food, clothes, mentorship, and education. I have a talk about how you become selfless, how do you build empathy.
Acute.co.ke.
Welcome to YellowTape. In this episode, I'm joined by Kennedy Otieno. There's a lot to cover. Hey, Kennedy, how are you?
I'm fine.
How was your week?
My week has been good.
Uh-huh.
Just thank God. That's been a very great week.
It's interesting how people say when they don't have anything else to do you find it anywhere. Like, karibu sana.
Thank you so
to
much.
YellowTape and Acute Media Studios.
Appreciate it.
There's a lot to cover in this episode. Like, one, how does one really build empathy? How do you become selfless and building compassion? But before we start covering those complex items, maybe we can start by, how would you describe Kennedy Otieno?
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Dixon. Well, Kennedy is a young child rights activist and humanitarian, someone that has passion towards humanity. Yes, I enjoy seeing other people happy. Yes, so that's me.
Wow, that's quite impressive. And that's the thing. Like, how do you get to that point of, like that's equating that to, there are a few characters. Mahatma Gandhi was one, and Jesus was the other. Like, how do you become that selfless, and building that compassion towards other people? But before we go to that, you also go by the name Ashley. Is that your name?
Well, the name Ashley. Okay, first and foremost, Ashley is a unisex name. Yeah. And then this is a nickname that was given to me back then. I'm known by this name. Most people do not know my real name. They know me as Ashley Ken. And so I took it.
How did it come about? Were you a footballer and you used to love Ashley Cole? Like, how was it?
When I was in primary school, I was a singer, yeah? Uh-huh. I used to sing. And I used to adore Rihanna so much. Yeah. And my classmates, girls, they began calling me Ashley in that because I was singing lots of Rihanna songs and all those. Yeah, this is how the name came about. Yeah,
that's quite interesting.
Yeah, but things changed. We grow up. Yeah, so things changed. Yeah, however, this name, I've tried changing it several times, but still people call me by this name. So yeah, I had just to embrace it.
Yeah, for sure. I like the fact that you've gone back and explained to us that when you were young, you were singing. Can you talk to us a little bit about, you are growing up? How were you like as a kid?
Okay. Well, I was I'm born Tao, born Tao, and I was partially raised by my parents and partially raised my children's home. Yeah, so let me begin by life in my parents' house. It was I come from a very less privileged family, and we were 8, and my dad didn't have like that stable source of income, and so there were domestic issues. Yeah, whenever my dad came home without maybe having not made any money for the day, yeah, he'll be mad at my mom, yeah, and then all that anger will lead to domestic violence, and then it will extend to me. Yeah, Dad used to say that I'm not of his, but we look alike, yeah. So that was my life, yeah. Okay, anyway, there were also good moments at home, yeah, but there were more bad moments than good, yes.
Okay.
Then one thing led to another, and I found myself in a children's home. Then this guy by the name Georgia Sisi, this guy took me as his own son in a children's home called Tumaini Korogocho. He raised me. He ensured that I acquired education. And my parents never followed me up, yeah. And, yeah. So, one thing led to another until I found myself graduating from college, and I become a child rights activist, yeah. So many things happened. The story is too long. Yes.
Just maybe a quick follow-up on that. Have you tried yourself making contact with your parents?
Oh yes, yeah. We are in good terms. Yeah, I've gone. They are at our home county. Yeah, so I've paid them a visit sometimes. Yeah, and we normally communicate. We had to forgive each other. Yeah, I remember there's a time I planned myself and I traveled to Shago. I met Dad and Mom, and upon seeing me, they just began shedding tears. Yeah, and I was like, Dad, I love you so much. Mom, I love you so much. We spoke out things. Dad was only mad at me because he was frustrated by the issues of life. Yeah, but today we are in good terms. He's my dad, and I'm so much proud of him. Yeah.
Okay. That's quite a human heart you really have there. Because I just have one question in terms of, can you just talk to us just a bit of a process in terms of how you went towards healing? Because I can imagine you being a kid and then your parents no longer being there, how that can be heartbreaking. And like that process of how did you get to that realization? You're like, okay, I need to forgive this family. It's my family, and there was this mistake. Like, what was your process? What's the process? What was the process for you?
Well, at Tumaini Children's Home, yeah, we used to have so many benefactors, people from different walks of life that used to pay us a visit to support us, yeah. And there's this team from University of Nairobi, a team led by a lady by the name Jerusa. Yeah, they used to come visit us and also speak to us about God, speak to us about forgiveness and all that, yeah. But to me, in my heart, there was a very big scar that my dad had, as in that was caused by my dad, yeah. And it was so hard for me to just forgive that because I underwent a lot of things, so many nasty things, yeah. And so it was all about my dad. I never loved him, yeah. And so upon being talked through the need for forgiveness and all that, upon seeing many kids suffer and undergo situation caused by their parents, and that at some point they let it go and they forgive each other and all that, yeah. I got convicted that unforgiveness is just like cancer. If you do not forgive, then it will kill you. You're the one not letting it go, yeah. Yeah, so if you don't let it go, it will kill you. Yeah. And so I got convicted that there's no need of holding such grudges, hatred in my heart. I had to let it go, regardless of what my dad did to me. Yeah. And so after doing my KCSE, that is in 2012, this dad of mine, George, he gave me some money, and I used this money to go see my parents at home, purposely to seek forgiveness. And so we met. They were in tears. They were like, where have you been? How have you been? Have you schooled? And I was like, yeah, I've even finished my Form 4. And we forgave each other. Yeah, because if at all I could not let it go, then even today I'll be still living under that hatred. Yeah, under depression, hatred, and frustrations. sometimes you have to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really powerful, Ken. Unforgiving is like cancer that kills you.
Yes.
Was there a connection, like you're growing up, you're the person, the life that you've gone through? How was that influenced you becoming? How did that influence you becoming this child activist? Because I know you've also started a number of initiatives which you're going to talk about specifically. But I just want to know, like, is there a connection between the life you grew up with what, or rather the cause that you've decided to follow as a person?
Okay. Well, growing up, I was a singer. Yeah, singing was my talent. Yeah, and I've even recorded some songs. Yeah, yeah. But I came to realize that there is something in me that that was never giving me peace. Yeah, whenever I could sing, yes, but there was no fulfillment. In this children's home, there were so many kids that we were forced to take care of them. And also seeing my dad, my adopted dad, struggling with us. Yeah, yes, yet he had his own family, yeah, struggling with us and ensure that we go to school, all those things. I got convicted that indeed I should do the same. Yeah, because some of us do not know as in what people go through outside here. But personally, I've been there. I've been in a children's home, not a standard children's home, a children's home somewhere in the middle of a slum somewhere. You get it? Yeah, where even affording, let's say 1 meal a day was a dream come true. It wasn't easy at all. Yeah, and I was like, okay, this guy is struggling so much. Yeah, he's doing this for us. He doesn't know us, but he's embracing us with love. I think I need to extend this love to something else. And then I got inspired also to touch life somewhere. So I became a volunteer in this organization. Yeah. I used to take care of the young ones in this organization. Yeah. And so after my KCSE, I had to leave because I was now 18 years and 18 and above. Yeah, I was an adult, so I had to leave the children's home. So leaving, I still had that passion in me, so I had to put my little resources together, easy pesa ndogo ndogo napata and all that, and buy kids in Kasabuni slum pencils, because I could only afford pencil at that time. Yeah, buy for some kids in need, maybe a school uniform, maybe a pair of trouser or short. Yeah, and so that's how I began doing humanitarian things. Yeah, yep. But the passion came from that children's home.
The children's home were in Tumaini?
Yes, Tumaini.
Okay. So that's what George was doing to you. Then you felt like the need to extend that to others.
Yes.
So can you talk to us about some of the initiatives that you've started? I know from buying pencils, you've sort of grown.
Yes.
Since then.
Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm. Well, in 2015 September, we registered a community-based organization named Hands of Help Children's Organization. Now, through this organization, we support and promote the welfare of the less privileged children through the provision of basic needs. Yeah, in school you were taught that we have 3 basic needs. That is food, shelter, and clothing. But to me, I think we have more than 3 basic needs. We have, of course, food, shelter, and clothing, and we also have education. In this area is a basic need, and we also have sanitary towels for adolescent girls. It is a basic need. Yeah, so we've been supporting kids acquire education. We take them to different schools so that they may acquire education as a basic need. Yeah. Also, we support some kids with learning materials, and also we support other kids, depending with the need. That is, yeah. We support other kids with maybe school uniforms, such like things. We also give. We also support our kids with how do I call them? Like dry food stuffs. Yes. According to the need, because our needs are not the same. Someone may be in need of clothing, where someone else is in need of something different from clothing. Maybe they have enough clothing, but they do not have food. Yeah, so we consider the need. So that's what we do.
That's really amazing. I like the fact that you've sort of opened up the basic need category from just the three that we grew up knowing. I remember, I think the other day was I saw a piece by a Kenyan TV station of a situation in an area in Nyanza whereby girls were actually exchanging sex for sanitary towels, and now these little girls now end up being pregnant. And I mean, the story goes on by, oh, he promised he's going to buy me shoes, he's going to buy me books, he's going to buy me in exchange for me to sleep with him. Like it was equally frustrating, like seeing that. Then when you follow through, after the lady gets pregnant, the guy disappears without even buying those pencils and sanitary towels. So what you're doing is really great, and like I said, I like the fact that you've opened it up to. So that was Hands of Help initiative.
Yeah.
That is in Korogosho still?
No, in Babadogo. Yeah.
Oh, Kasabuni.
Kasabuni, yeah.
Okay.
And just before we go on, still on the same piece that you watched, there is something that I ask myself, and today the government is issuing free condoms. Yeah, free condoms. In every public toilet, you'll find a packet dispensed there. Now, I ask myself that between a condom and a piece and a box of sanitary towel, which one is more important? One, menstrual cycle is something that comes every single month. Yeah? But for sexual urge can be controlled. You get that? Yeah, so I was thinking that if the government can just maybe dispense also these sanitary towels to our daughters and girls for free, at least it will make a very huge difference. Because I also have sisters, and I've seen my sisters using a piece of tissue during the menstrual cycle. I've seen girls lowering their dignity in the name of they are looking for they want to exchange an intercourse with sanitary towel. And in this era, you can imagine, Mr. Dixon, there are girls somewhere, people will not believe this, but somewhere, girls that are still using pieces of cloth during their menstrual cycle.
Yeah, it is. I definitely see where you're coming from with your approach of the government maybe trying to rethink about the sanitary towels, and I really wish we can get there. I think one of the other reason why the condoms were maybe made an essential, or that they were being given almost for free, was, if you can remember, we had this epidemic of HIV. And I think at the point where we've sort of controlled it, and I really like what you've suggested in terms of the government may be opening that up as well to sanitary towels, because it's really, and I think what I usually look at is if they can start with vulnerable communities, then coming upwards, that would make a bit more meaningful impact. Let's talk about, is it called Haven?
Haven, yes.
Haven. I like the name. It's like how did the name come before we talk about? Because Haven seems like a safe place, right?
Yeah,
I think from English,
refuge place. Yes.
Refuge. Yeah.
Well, to some kids, back at their homes, they open up to us more than they open up to their parents and guardians, and so we decided to rebrand Hands of Help, and rename it a Haven, because this is a refuge point for these kids, a place where when they come, at least they're sure that they'll be listened to, they'll be taken care of, such like things. And so we are trying just to, of course, we are registered as Hands of Help, but we're trying to have this Haven as our operating brand. Yes.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, so we are creating a very conducive environment for our kids in the slum. A place where when they come, they can feel very free and very comfortable, peace and all that.
You know, when I was researching about Haven, then I saw the description. Haven, you described it as a safe and refuge place for children. We support educational needs, welfare, that is clothing and food, well-being and social skills. Like, that's really, it's really powerful, and I know there's a lot that goes beyond that definition or that description, and I'd like you to talk a little bit about it.
At Havens, we want to make kids comfortable. Yeah, we want to. Well, we cannot do anything. You cannot stretch your hands to something if there's no love. So we first build this love. We first build a home. Yeah. After putting up this house, or rather this home, yeah. Now through this, in this home, we want to ensure that it has all these things inside it, like social skills. We want to ensure that we train our kids or in public speaking, effective communications, like assertiveness and just social skills. Yeah, how to live in this society. Yeah, this home should also spread love to our kids and all that, and also it should be a place where at least when one comes in empty, at least there is he or she can walk out with something. Get it? Yeah. A place where there's food, there is a provision of education, there is social activities done and all that, and also there are things like sanitary towels for our girls. Yeah, this one home should be able to provide all these to our boys and girls. Yeah. Yeah, because we may give out sanitary towels, we may give out clothing, we may give out all these things. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that we want to put up a children's home. No, I don't advocate for children institutions. Yeah, I prefer I prefer like mentoring these kids and then reuniting them with their family back. Yeah, so this our operation point we intend it to take care of these kids in all those ways that I've mentioned. Yes.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. So the idea is, come to this haven of ours. Let's have fun. Let's play. Let's connect. Let me teach you how to become a better public speaker. Let me show you how to connect with others. But I need you to now to go home and practice that as well.
Yes. So that at least, time passes, yeah? And we will not be here forever. We are only here for some time. And there'll be kids again tomorrow with special needs, with different kind of needs. And again, there'll be need of someone who will take care of these kids. And that's why my desire is just to see someone out of our many kids. If I see only one child become a child rights activist, then that one will be my dream come true. My vision will have been fulfilled seeing that one child, because after I'm gone, he'll continue with the vision, not necessarily through Havens or Hands of Help, but through their own initiative. I encourage such.
Okay, Ken. Let's unpack.
Podcasts are an amazing way to get your message out. You get an engaged audience who consume your content anywhere, anytime, and we'd like to help you get started with launching your podcast. Acute helps you conceptualize, produce, package, and distribute. Email us at hello@acute.co.ke. That's acute with a Q. Time to express yourself.
This word, child activist. I want you to think of it from a layman who thinks an activist is, the guy who goes on the streets, like Boniface Mwangi who will take pigs to parliament. When you're talking about child activism, like, can you break it down? Like, what is that?
Okay. Well, there are so many things in our communities that happens, yeah? But everyone is too blind to see, yeah? We have seen children being physically abused, but who speaks?
Oh man, yesterday I saw one which was very frustrating. I think this woman, I don't know what was wrong with her. I think alitoa macho. It was very frustrating. It was very frustrating to see it. Like this guy, this baby, this kid, and he's a small kid. I'm sure kaa ni mkubwa sana. He's maybe 5 or 6 years. It was so like you could see the eye imetolewa iko pale, and the kid is bleeding. I don't know if I'm over exaggerating because I could not really complete watching it, but it was really, sorry for interrupting
It's okay.
you.
Well, so such thing happens in a society, but people are too busy looking for bread. Nobody is concerned about that. I know so. You get it? Yeah. So for I to call myself a child rights activist, I follow up such like issues. I whenever such issues happen, maybe physical abuse or sexual abuse and all such like things, I'll take them right to the local authority. That's the sub chief in our area. I'll report the issue, and then I'll do my level best for the perpetrator to be arrested, and justice to be served to this child. So such like issue, if there is a child that's not going to school and yet the government has given us free primary education, I'll follow up such like issue with the parents. Hey, why is he or she not in school? Please let us take this child to school. You get that? So in that small way, that's how we are activating for the rights of these children. Physical abuse, any kind of abuse, we report. We want to show that our kids are safe in our communities. Because many things happen behind the curtains, and some some are exposed, but again, who takes the issue to the next to the authority? Nobody, because people want to mind their business. People don't want to create grudges and all that. We don't want to create grudges, yet a child, an innocent person somewhere is suffering, yet we are covering up. It is not right. So this is what I do in Kasabuni.
Do you ever get threats by parents who are like,
yes.
mtoto ni wangu?
Yes.
How do you go about that?
Yes.
And what gives you like the strength of going back again tomorrow despite that?
Well, I've faced so many things in that doing this job. I've faced a lot of threats, and I've also learned a lot of things. Whenever you see an abuse happening somewhere, you don't just go there and I'm going to solve it and all that. No, you be wise. You report first, and then you let the authority go follow up, not you, because when you follow up, you work here, you stay here, so you can also endanger your life and all that. But we have had issues with some parents, like mtoni wangu, what are you telling me? And so all I do is just to report. We report, and then I follow up. Hey, Madam Chief, did you follow up that case? Yeah, we are following it up. So and so was arrested. We forced this woman to take the child to school and all that. And so I become an enemy of the people. But again, on the other end, I'm doing at least the right thing.
Yes.
So I've lost friends, of course. I've lost friends. To some people, I'm this bad guy that they don't want to see. But I know to these children, maybe I'm a savior. So we live with some of these threats. We just live with them. Only that if this person comes to your office to threaten you and all that, you don't argue, you don't say anything, you just calm down, relax, and the best that you can do is just report. And that's why we are trying to look for also partners like children's rights organizations. And I'm glad that we are part of Nairobi Child protection team. So when the issue is just too hard for us, we now escalate it to some other higher authorities. Yes.
Before we go, I'd like to really talk about how the Havens run specifically. But before that, I noticed you also what is LSG Sky Chef?
Oh. Well, LSG is a German company that is handling doing tray setting and meals for an airline company called KLM. That's a airline that's a Netherlands airline. I've worked there. Well, this activism job, at the moment we do not fully depend on it, because apart from these kids, you also have your personal needs and all that. Yeah, and nobody will come there to supply your needs. Yeah, in the name of you are doing this job. So at some extent, you have to also get something to do to make you also get some few income that you'll use to run the organization and also sort your issues. Yeah. So I worked for that company as a flight attendant, handling KLM and Martin Air.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a airline company, catering company based in Terminal 2 of JKIA.
Okay. You're
Yes.
still there?
No. I
Okay.
left. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, actually, that was whatever you've answered sort of led to the question I had for you next in terms of how do you really fund the facility? Because I'm trying to think of running Haven. You guys have an office, you have kids coming to the place, you ensuring that they have this. So most of the funding, does it come from what you make as a person, like your own income?
Yes, I'm so humbled to say that I am the main benefactor of this organization. Yes, because I do my hustle whatever, and then the little I get, I use like over 50% to run the initiative.
Okay.
Currently, we do not have benefactors, but we are running this initiative through raising funds through our Facebook platforms, talking to friends. Yeah, get a few funds and then you put it into operations of this initiative. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that's really, I can tell you one thing for sure. When I first met you and when you described what you did, and now the second time when we also again started talking and I started doing a bit of research on what you do, one song kept ringing in my head. Anytime I'll read now, like this song kept on ringing in my head. Can you guess what song it is? It's by Michael Jackson.
Hold my hands.
Okay. Close, not that one. No, that one. Heal the World.
Oh,
Make it a better place for you. And anytime I was doing it, I was like thinking about it, because he actually describes it and he says, make a better place for me and for you and every other person, every other human race. And it just kept on ringing, and I said, I'm going to really ask you this question, and I also get your perspective. When you hear the phrase heal the world, like what does it mean to you?
The moment we'll find a place to put these kids, all of them, take them out of our streets, yeah, then, to my opinion, would have healed the world. Yes. Yeah. There's so many issues, like the issues of mental health right now is coming, yeah, and people are working, people are eating very well, balanced diet, and they're working, they're earning, but in their secret places, they're undergoing issues. They're suffering internally, yeah, the issues that they're undergoing. Yeah. And so if such issues are solved, if these people open up and such issues are solved, to me, I'll say that the world is healed. Because the world is not the world without human beings.
That's correct.
Yes. So that will be my opinion.
Wow. And you're healing the world in your own way with Haven. You're taking in kids, you're reporting kids who are being mistreated. And I'd like, and I really want for you to also extend an opportunity to someone who's listening to you right now, the person who's listening. How can he or she, how this person listening, how can he or she also heal the world, and maybe through Haven, if they want to?
Well, we have opened our door for friends that would like to be part of us. Yeah, they can be part of us in the following ways. One can be our pillar by just being a volunteer at our office. One can be our pillar, or rather part of us, by deciding to stand with one child. That is sponsoring one child. Sponsoring one child does not mean that now you will be sending every maybe thousands of money every single month. No, maybe you can come and identify a child and get to know their needs, and say that maybe every single month I'll be buying this girl a packet of sanitary towel that is sponsoring one child, 1 or 2 or many, or even 10 if you can. Yeah, you can also be our pillar and our partner by deciding to assisting us pay our monthly office rents, because indeed we must have an operating point. We cannot operate from the clouds or maybe in Facebook. No, we have to operate in somewhere physical, in a physical area. Yeah, so it's not easy paying such that rent. So maybe you can be part of us and support us and pay that rent. You can be part of us by donating us used but wearable clothes. Yeah, if maybe you may have something that you do not use very much, yeah, but you don't need it very much, but someone else needs it the most. For example, you may have 2 pairs of shoes, but this one I don't prefer it, yeah. You prefer maybe throwing it away, yeah, but that shoes maybe you've helped someone else somewhere, so you can donate such used but wearable clothes to our organization. We really appreciate such. Yes, you can also be our partner by donating us or supporting us with dry food stuffs, yeah, either weekly, daily, monthly, yeah, as you will, or rather as you wish. And you're also welcome to share with us your ideas.
I've never, for the period of time I've listened to this, I've never heard someone break it down to the specifics that you have. I'll be honest with you. I've never, you're very specific, and if you can come volunteer, help us do something. If you can, please come and sponsor a kid. Come assist us pay our office bills. You're very specific. And the other thing that stood out to me was used but wearable clothes. And I've done this. Because you have clothes that are torn, you're like, let's take these two. I've done that. And a friend of mine actually helped me see perspective, because I thought I was doing something good, right? But the friend of mine asked me, so huwezi vai juu imeraruka, mbona nataka mwingine akavae? Then now you think you're helping. It was very embarrassing, but I'm glad we had that conversation, because it helped me see perspective. Because like any other Kenyan would be like, nilipeleka, it's like nililipa sadaka, Mungu anafaa nibariki, Yeah, so used but wearable clothes. Okay. Yes. Nguo yako umenona, so ile ndogo you can take it to then food stuff. Then if you have ideas, you also welcome people to come and share them at the facility. And this is kasabun.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. That's quite specific. A few more questions. So far, when you look back, and maybe I'll want if you can maybe pick a case and just talk a bit about it. When you look back at whatever that you've done over these years since 2015, what's that one thing that you can say, or what are some of those things you can look back and they say okay, I'm really, really proud of this?
Okay. Well, there's this case that inspires me so much. Yeah. There's this girl by the name Irene. Yeah. Irene was back home, set for forced marriage. Yeah, and she was just a child, below 18 years. Yeah. So her guardian spoke to me that, please consider this girl. And I was like, how? We already have so many needs now. How do we add someone? And she insisted, and I lacked peace. Yeah, I lacked peace. I had struggles within me, and so I was like, no, send her transport, let her come. I began speaking to friends, and I'm grateful for this lady by the name Elizabeth from Giraffe Project, whom enabled me link her with this girl. So we took this girl to school. We bought her new shoes, we bought her a school uniform, and then we paid admission fee, and then she was admitted at Giraffe Educational Center. Yeah, that is in Machakos.
It's impressive.
And she acquired education, and last year she did her final examination, and she of course passed.
Wow, amazing.
And she's also she has begun doing the same thing that I'm doing to this, as in to the community. And honestly, I feel so much proud that despite of the struggles that we've been through, so many struggles, at least there's one life, if not 2 or 3, at least there's one life that has been impacted, and at least there's a light coming from at least somewhere. Yeah, so that's one case that whenever I feel like giving up, I look at that situation, I look at that girl, and I'm like, no, let me just continue doing this job. A life transformed, and I'm grateful to God. And even her garden have been calling me even to date. Oh, Ashley Ken, oh, thank you so much, and I'm like, no, it's just God. It is God. That's her life changed. She's not married, she's becoming a child rights activist, and she passed, now waiting to join maybe a campus. We know that God will provide resources.
He will.
Yes,
He will.
Thank you.
That's amazing. You know, I usually used to have a theory, and you sort of what you're doing as sort of like the case you've described as sort of validated my theory. I used to have this thinking that if you want a better world, if you want a better world tomorrow, it starts by how you're treating kids today.
Correct.
Because I think if you treat a kid, look at them, like look at the likes of the people who became serial killers. If I can pinpoint one and say Ted Bundy, he had a bad relationship growing up with the mom. If you look at other people who grew up with a different kind of a relationship, you see that as well as they grow up. Okay, because I think narcissists are actually created by people, the kind of relationship someone has when they're growing up. So you've really validated that. I'm really happy, Irene.
Thank you.
She has grown up to become, something better, than what could have happened in the case if you could have not picked up the phone. Good job. Wow, that's really so amazing. Talk to us a little bit about some of the challenges that you undergo through on your day-to-day operations.
Well, our main challenge is we do not have enough volunteers. There's a lots of work to be done. However, volunteers, we are short of volunteers. That's the main challenge. Someone will come for 2-3 days, or maybe a month, volunteer, and then when they're volunteering, they're coming from somewhere.
Yeah,
they're going back somewhere in the evening. Yeah, and they're handling different cases, and some requires traveling to different destinations and all that. So sometimes we are frustrated because you're not able to sustain them within the organization. So we are forced to let them go. Okay. Because we do not meet like the basic needs that they require for this job. That's number one thing. And then number two challenge is the community to some extent has embraced us, whereas some parents within, like they call this sort of names and all that, depending because of the cases that we've handled. It's another challenge. So you are like, okay, these guys are wasting our time. They're like mtoto wangu kama mtoto wao and all that. Mimi nataka mtoto wangu and all that, but this child at home is not comfortable. So whenever we come, we try like to be a solution, maybe to ensure that this kid is comfortable and all that. Some parents not appreciate that. So just many things happened. So it's another challenge also. And then our another challenge is finances, because all this job requires finances. So without finances, as in running this our program is not easy and all that. Yes, so those are our main challenges.
And like you said before, you still need volunteers.
Yes,
you need people to support you in terms of finances, especially running keeping the lights up.
Yes,
and also sponsoring certain kids.
Yes,
there is something that you've mentioned. I don't know if I got it correctly. The stigma bit of it. It's like the community where you guys are. There's a bit of the organization has been sort of stigmatized. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Can you talk? I'm sorry. I think I kind of missed that.
Yeah. Okay. They say in the Bible that a prophet is not acknowledged at his homeland. Yeah.
Yes.
And we began there, and we are still there, and we're focusing on that community. Yeah. And we've handled so many delicate cases. And there was even this woman that came to our office because she had physically abused a child, and mtoto alikuwa na alama kila mahali, kwa mgongo amechapwa, ametoka damu. And so we reported, and then she came to bribe us with 20,000 of course we were in need of money, but this is a case a child is there seated in our office desk, so we never took the money. We ensured that this child got justice. And this woman was arrested. However, she has boys. And there's been like sometimes, like the other day, just after COVID-19 broke out. I mean, our office, people stole from us. All most of our office things. And these people are people from this community, and people that maybe to some extent we have had encounters, maybe doing the wrong thing, and now they'll send boys to do funny things. And like we were robbed many things in our office. And that's why we've been planning to relocate our office somewhere safer, but still focus on the same community. However, just relocate our office somewhere safer. Because it is not very safe it may seem to be. It's not very safe because we are handling different delicate cases.
For a second there I got a bit mad and annoyed that the people will come and steal from an organization that is support. It's like, go, okay, anyway, let me.
Such happens. It happens. Our office is near Mabati. So those guys broke in and they took a few things, and they went. And from reliable sources, the people that we have reported that now are doing this just kind of to revenge from us taking up the cases to the next authority and all that. But we are still strong. We are still in this job, because at the end of the day, we are not trying to create enmity here. We are only trying to create a safe society for everyone. Yes.
Wow, Paul Sana, that's really... I'm just trying to think, and why would someone steal from an organization that is trying to help kids? This is... Okay, anyway. Something else that I noticed you do was... now, thank you so much for sharing the story about your organization and also being honest and candid about your own personal life.
You're welcome.
Something that you also do is public speaking.
Yes.
Which you also pass it down. And actually saw amazing pictures of you in various institutions talking to young students about public okay, it wasn't a video, but I want to assume you were trying to motivate them to do well in their exams. I don't know. That's something that I could pick up. How has this been for you? And what can you say about the reception? How is it like for you starting public speaking, your journey? And are you seeing any impact from what conversations you have?
Some people have heard my story, and some have watched my interviews in different TV stations, and through such, I've been privileged to get some invitations to go speak to different schools and all that. Just speak your life, just to challenge at least one person, if not all of them. So it has been it is something that has worked well for me, because whenever I get an invitation, I make sure that I deliver. God enables me, and it has been a journey. It has been a journey full of research and being honest, because you have to some people may lie because they are ashamed of the kind of life that they have lived, how they were brought up. They're not proud of that. But once you have accepted, and so you speak about it comfortably and confidently, at least you help someone. So it has worked well for me. So I've been going to different schools to speak to different kids, pupils, students, just to motivate them. Just to tell them that even if you get a D, that D minus is not the end of life. You can still do great things. Actually, I got a D plus in KCAC, but that D plus does not define my potential.
Yes,
I am beyond that D plus. But that is whatever the paper reflects. And so there's so many people that maybe you fail in KCAC and all that, but now you tend to lose hope in life. No, life has so much more than a D plus or E. So I do that. There is a But again, I'm not trying to advocate for people to be lazy and fail examinations. Yeah, you have to work
for
hard,
sure,
yeah.
you have to.
You
Yeah,
have to, because life outside here is not very easy. It's very hard. Yeah, it's very hard. Yeah, so you have to stay focused. You have to work hard. You have to give it your best. Yeah, yeah. So I motivate kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Podcasts are an amazing way to get your message out. You get an engaged audience who consume your content anywhere, anytime, and we'd like to help you get started with launching your podcast. Acute helps you conceptualize, produce, package, and distribute. Email us at hello@acute.co.ke. That's acute with a Q. Time to express yourself.
No, that's really awesome, and I like the fact that you're saying and I don't know how we got to the point whereby whatever you score in your exam sort of defines who you become, because I think as a country we sort of we kind of got lost in that delusion whereby whatever you score is what determines what you really become. And the moment you see that paper, it's an E, you feel frustrated, and that sort of defines the kind of person you become. But I'm really happy with what I've seen this year. I've noticed that even more students don't even want to go to university. They're opting to go to technical institutes,
yes.
which was, if you ask me, I was impressed, because our universities are not really... center of excellence. Well, they are, in the sense, what I mean is you don't really have to go to university for you to have the kind of life you want. Sometimes you have to go through selling charcoal. Sometimes you have to go through, and I mean, you're doing amazing stuff. And I'm sure whatever you're doing literally is really influenced with whatever happened in high school, right?
Yeah, Dixon, education, our parents told us that education is the only key to success. That's what we were brought up knowing.
Yes.
And that's why whenever one failed examination, they will be like, no, all is gone. I've lost it all. No. And then suffering begins from that point, because it
sticks in your mind. Yeah.
In our mind,
my key is lost.
Yeah. But to us, what we believe nowadays is that education is just one of the keys to success. There are several other keys. Education is just one of them. For example, education is essential. By the way, you need to
know how to read and write.
It's essential, yeah.
Yeah.
However, there's still so many things that you can do and succeed in this life.
Yeah, for sure.
This guy that was selling charcoals.
Njenga Karume.
Yeah. He died, right?
Yes.
He died a millionaire, right? Yeah. But he began from nothing, no education, nothing at all, yeah. And then he employed graduates, yeah?
Educated.
And then he
people,
was able to go back to school. You get it, yeah? So, failing in examination does not mean that now you have failed in life, yeah. However, there is a need to working harder, yeah, and ensure that you pass.
Yeah.
If you can pass, go ahead and pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you fail, that does not define your life.
Yes.
2 more questions, then. I think this has been very informative. 2 more questions, then
Yes,
I can let you go back and continue doing the amazing stuff. So I just need you to thank a few people who've helped you get to this place where you are. So in addition to George, who else would you like to really big up and appreciate, the far that you've been and have in itself?
Well, I would like to acknowledge one, Florence Mredhi. Kamteule singer. Yeah, Florence Mredhi has been just, I don't know how to describe her, a great help, God sent. Yeah, actually, she touched my life more than she touched the initiative that today I'm running. And so I'm grateful to her. Wherever she is, may God give her more grace and favor. I also want to thank Helen Mteule. She has been a great help to us, and also my Pastor George Sisi, who has been a great motivation and a great support, and every volunteers that has ever come to our office and given us maybe anything. Honestly, this people means a lot to us. Yeah, I cannot forget to thank Masika Mande and Kelly Clutch from the US. This lady has been amazing, and I really thank God for her as well. And then finally, there is a lady by the name Emma. Emma has been a great support. Whatever they are, may God increase them, favor them, and bless them.
Awesome. Thank you, Helen, Florence, Marcy, George, for the amazing, everything amazing you've done. And Kelly, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Kelly.
For the amazing stuff you've done. I mean, it has been inspirational to have and start. Before the last question, for someone who, with COVID restrictions and all that, someone who cannot come to your office, how can they? Is there a way they can, maybe if they want to send some money, if they want, I don't know, maybe is there a way they can volunteer online, like for those who are maybe restrained by distance?
Well, thank you. Well, we are trying to put up an online board of this initiative. Yeah, a group of people that will be meeting to discuss as in the issues of this initiative. Yeah, so one can volunteer. Can just write to us. I'm going to give out details. I can just write to us, and they can become part of our board. Yeah. Also, people can support us via the following number: 0720 551 576. Yes, or 0739 109 360. Yes, we are currently also raising sanitary towels via Mchanga. So you can just log to Mchanga and then search sanitary towels and menstrual circle sanitary towels, and then you can donate. There's a pay bill number there. You can just donate via that link. And any other form of support, you can write to us. You can just write to us or call us or text, SMS, such like things, and we are going to revert immediately. Yes.
All right, amazing. So the phone number is 0720 551 576 or 739 109 360. Both of them registered to your name, right?
Yes.
Kennedy Otieno.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Ken. And the Mchanga, if someone goes to Mchanga and they just search Haven's children, will that pop?
Yeah, it will just pop out, and then there's a pay bill number there. You can just contribute, or rather donate anything, maybe 10 shillings, 100 shillings, 1,000 shillings, through that pay bill number, and the account name will be like Hands of Help, like Haven's Children's Organization.
Haven's Children's Organization.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. And the online board, people can call you, can reach you.
Yes.
And through the phone numbers you've provided.
Yes.
Then they can be able to see if they can join the board, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Last question. What do you see in your imagination? How are you seeing the future?
Oh, Mr. Dixon, the future is very bright. Very, very bright, yeah? Well, I'm seeing so many lives changed, transformed, and I'm seeing a very peaceful society. Yeah, a child rights violation free society. Yeah, changing one life is what matters to me. But if these hundreds of lives are going to be changed, then we are going to thank God even much more. Yeah, so I'm seeing our tomorrow is very bright, because I'm just optimistic that all is well. Yeah, yes. So our future is bright. We are working hard. We are getting new ideas to put in place. We are sharing our ideas with different people. And one time, we are going to have a very stable organization that will not support only 78 kids, but over maybe 1,000, maybe 5,000. Maybe you can, maybe beyond even Kenya, maybe Uganda, Tanzania, and other countries. Yeah, that's what personally I'm seeing.
Amazing, Ken.
Karibu sana.
Sina kitu ingine ya kuongeza. Just to finish up with what you said that I think stuck. Not forgiving is like cancer that will kill you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Karibu sana. I appreciate.
Thank you for listening. This has been a different kind of show. We hardly do this kind of discussions in our space, but I'm really glad that you're able to get to this point. Your feedback on this show will be highly appreciated. Also, you finding a way to support Ken's cause and ambition will be more appreciated. That is it for this edition of YellowTape. Let us link up on our subsequent episode. You can chat me on @Morande Dixon on Twitter, @Acute Media. This episode of YellowTape has been produced by David Owino, engineered by Kevin Ochieng for Acute Media.